this is going to be the seventh team in the last 7 years to win a title. And we haven't seen this kind of parity in the NBA since the 70s when that happened, when you had multiple teams win championships. But the question I have, too, because as we know, sports, and whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, is kind of like copycat leagues. We hear that thrown around all the time. And you can see it in basketball. Like when Golden State was really at the top, a lot of teams wanted to play like Golden State. When Boston finally took the throne, it was like, do we need 5 guys that now can spread the floor, can shoot the three-point shot, multiple playmakers? Now that, Boston kind of lost in first round and it didn't move forward, we're going to have 2 new teams, okay? It looks like it may be Indiana and it may be Oklahoma City, 2 teams that have built, and again, I'm saying it may be. We don't know. New York still has an outside chance, but let's say it is those 2 teams and one eventual winner comes out of that, that twosome. But they've done things the right way via the draft, via free agency, how they spent their money, how they developed players, and how they actually integrated defense with pace and space, with rebounding and shooting. So now the question is, does the league try to mimic what they see with OKC and Indiana? And meaning so that instead of playing 8 players, now you're playing 9 to 10 players throughout the course of the season. So they're ready to play when it comes to the playoffs. You don't have a drop-off. Okay, you have these interchangeable parts. But it also gives you, I think, a lot of security for the future. Because by developing young players and playing young players, you're going to have some leakage. You're going to have some men who leave your team to a different team, whether that's the money, whether that's the free agency or some trades. But yet in the stable, you have some young guys that you've been playing and prepared that can kind of step in and maybe not take the person's place fully, but you feel confident that they can come in and you don't miss a step. So what I'm saying is it's going to be very interesting to kind of watch the transition over this summer because a lot of teams have questions. Milwaukee has questions. The Lakers have questions. Boston has questions. You can go down the line of the teams that thought they were going to contend this year. Denver has questions on where they go next year. What pieces do they need to add in order to kind of get back to the top and compete for another title? These things are going to happen over this summer, and that's the beauty about the league is one thing is constant, that's change. And we see it a lot. And a lot of time it's triggered by who's ever at the top, who's ever winning, and they have a formula. A lot of teams try to duplicate it. Now, it's not as easy as just going out and finding some pieces to the puzzle and say, okay, we want to play fast. We want to get up and down. You got to have the right guys for that. And that's where management, your scouts, your GM come in and figure out ways in this analytic world. And I say this all the time. Analytics drives a lot of the narrative. But one thing analytics can't do, analytics can't predict whether 2 players, 3 players, 4 players get along. The numbers may say that they work together, but analytics can't tell you personality. And that's where you need the eye of the GM, the coach, management, ownership that brings us together. And I think that's what you see with OKC, and that's what you see with Indiana. Again, we don't know what's going to happen on Thursday. Hopefully New York can extend this and take it to 7 games, and we got a nail-biter because it may be New York in it. We've seen some crazier things. But I say that anyway because Indiana has set the table along with OKC. I think what we're going to see in the future as teams start to rebuild their rosters and want to play a different way. And if they can do that, I think these 2 teams will be a catalyst. So what I want you to do is enjoy the game on Thursday, and we'll figure some things out after that series is over with, and kind of circle back to this question about what teams do. Check out new episodes of The Jim Jackson Show every Thursday. Watch on The Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Follow the show on Instagram @Jim Jackson Show, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.